Girls will break the rules for attractive men. And let me tell you a story from about 2 months ago when a girl broke the rules for me. So I have to preface this story of the girl who broke the rules with kind of just what happened overall that night. So I lived in a city an hour away from a big city. So I would always go to this city and I had a couple things in the works there. So I had a date that night and I went out with this girl. Everything was going great until she found out that I kissed her sister, and then she got big mad, and that kind of ended things there on an early note. So it was like 10 o'clock, and I'm just like, fuck, well, I got nothing to do tonight because this was my plans for the night. This got ruined. So I hit the club. So I go to the club at like 10:30, and it's dead. The first girls who I see come into the bar are super attractive. There's one who's really my type, and then there's another girl who is also very attractive, and that's her friend. So I immediately just go up, introduce myself to them, ask the girls their names. We start chatting a little bit. We go and take a seat in a booth. We're talking. We're really developing a great connection. I'm talking to her friend. Everything is going amazing. The vibes are immaculate. And it is about 1 o'clock when now the club is going crazy, everyone's here, it's as full as it's gonna be, and her friend was talking off with some other guys, and then she left her friend. That's like girl code 101 is you do not leave your friend. So she left her friend to come back to the hotel with me and hang out with me. And that is like one of the little things that girls will do when you're extremely attractive. When you're super attractive, not just physically, but mentally, you're great at communication, you're charismatic, you're charming, you're the full package across the board. Girls will break the rules for you. This is something that you will see happen time and time again, but if you are not that guy, girls are not going to break the rules for you, and it's going to be very hard for you to get them. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down everything that goes into making you the most attractive version of yourself that girls will break the rules for, because that story is fun. But at the end of the day, how did I actually get there and how do I achieve this? That's what I'm going to be breaking down for every single one of you. And I also made a high value man guide breaking down all the ways across the board that you can build your value as a man and get to this spot where you are that attractive guy that girls break the rules for. That's completely for free. It's the first link in the description below. The first area that you need to get dialed in is your looks. It is very superficial, but it is very important. Your looks is what is going to get your foot in the door. So what am I talking about in terms of looks? I'm not just saying physical attractiveness, the face that you were born with. That is one factor, and we'll go into that. But one of the first and most important things that you can control is your body game. Your body game is 90% of your physical avatar. This is something that you have so much control, complete control over, is whether you're gonna be fat, you're gonna be fit, you're gonna have muscle. What is it that you want to do with your body? This is such a big expression of who you are as an individual, as a character in this life. That's gonna be one of the biggest things that can turn girls on, is building an attractive body. So what I personally have gone for is putting on as much natural muscle as I can hold while staying relatively lean, anywhere from 10 to 15% body fat. Right now I'm a little bit on the higher side because I'm trying to put on muscle and bulk, gain strength and size, but generally it's somewhere in that range. You will attract the most amount of girls if that is what you have. That's just how it is, put simply. If you have natural muscle, put a good amount of natural muscle with a lean physique, you're going to succeed. Now, the next thing is style. When you package that great physique with amazing style, you just elevated yourself 10x. So it's a great body and great style. And I'll tell you the style that I rock. I like the timeless classics old money style. So I wear a lot of chino pants, some jeans, plain color shirts. The colors I wear are usually white, black, navy blue, gray, tan, things like that. Those are the colors I wear primarily, and it's just how you match them and how you put the fits together that really matters. But it's really just t-shirts, Henleys, long sleeve shirts, some collared shirts. There's nothing too crazy that goes into it. On top of that, I have some accessories like blazers. I have a leather jacket I absolutely love. Those are the things that I wear that make me the most presentable, best looking version of myself. And that's it. It's really that simple. So you get your body in shape, you get your style dialed in. And the last thing is looks maxing. So doing whatever you can to optimize your physical looks, mostly around your face. I mean, what haircut works best for you? How many different haircuts have you tested out? I'm always doing slight iterations. Like recently, I noticed that I feel it looks better my hair was shorter on the sides right here. So it's like a little bit tighter and a little bit longer on the top. And that's a recent iteration I made to my haircut where it was a little bit more poofy on the sides. I didn't like it as much. I'm always making slight little micro adjustments to myself to be the best looking version that I can be. I have a little stubble right now, just like a day's worth, but I always rock a clean shave every single night that I go out or if I have a date. Always clean shaving. That is the things that are going to make you the most attractive version of yourself. If you're a guy who looks better with a beard, make sure your beard is properly taken care of. It's simple things, but it really adds up. So your looks is super important, and this is the first thing you're going to want to prioritize getting dialed in. Now, this next thing is really important, which is your character traits and your mindset. So what am I talking about here? Well, the first thing that you need is confidence. Confidence makes you extremely attractive. Let me tell you about my communication mentor I had about 6+ months ago for a while. He wasn't traditionally attractive, and I'm not saying this to put him down. I'm just saying this so you can paint a picture in your mind. He was tall. He was about 6'2", but he had a really, really scraggy looking beard. He had some acne, not the best haircut, but he was the most confident, charismatic guy you would ever meet. I promise you, he had the ability to communicate at such a high level, in such a confident, charismatic way, that he would make anybody like him. So many people think they're hindered by the looks that they have, which is just completely the furthest thing from the truth. You need to learn how to develop true internal confidence and portray that best version of yourself socially to everyone you meet, whether it's guys, girls. When you start doing that, you will become magnetic. So you need to develop confidence. The next thing is charismatic. You need to be very charismatic and you need to develop charisma, because charisma is just kind of this broad overall term of just being a very likable, fun, easygoing person that people want to be drawn to. Once again, going back to that magnetic aspect, you want to be that guy. For example, I was in the club and some guy just came up to me and he was like, "Bro, you have such aura." I'm like, "Thank you, bro." And then we started chatting, and it's just like, you want to be someone who is very easily likable. Like, you know, he saw me talking to a girl, big smile on my face. He was like, "Damn, bro, you just got that aura." I'm like, and then we started chatting and we hung out a little bit and had a drink. And, you know, you just want to be very charismatic. You want to make other people feel good about themselves. You need to have confidence first to really be the most charismatic version. That's why I said that first, because if you're insecure, if you have a negative mindset, if you have anxiety, limiting beliefs, it's going to be very hard for you to be charismatic. So confidence is first. Then you want to develop your charisma. If you don't know how, read some books on communication. Do whatever you can to learn charisma, because it is very, very valuable. And the last thing, this kind of is just an overall broad thing that you want, which is to be a winner. I'm a winner in life. When you have a winner's mindset, it is extremely attractive. There's nothing that compares to being a winner. I mean, everyone wants to be around a winner. No one wants to be around a loser. It's the classic winner's effect. If you're the guy who gets girls all the time, guys are going to want to be around you. That's as simple as it is. I have gotten so many guys, girls, and because I'm the guy that gave them the introduction, and because I hyped them up and made them feel good about myself, I got a girl myself too. They are like, "Fuck, I want to hang out with this dude." You know, just being a winner is so key. There's nothing that compares. Being a winner in all aspects of life, whether it's your mindset, financially, socially, you want to do whatever it takes to be a winner, and this is going to change your life if you just always say there is no option but to win. And the last thing is going to be improving yourself financially. So I want to preface this by saying you don't need tons of money to get girls. If you have the looks dialed in across the board, like we were saying, physicality, you've looks maxed, good style, and then you have all the character traits like confidence, communication, charisma, you will get plenty of girls. For the first 2 years in my journey, I really didn't have money. I was broke at most of my journey with all these stories I was telling you from when I was younger at 19, 20, 21. I really didn't have money, and at 21 that's when I first started to get it. But before that, it was just trying different things and failing. And I was getting girls this whole time. So you don't need money to have success with girls. Just want to preface that. But now, on another note, having money makes you very attractive. If you have everything we described before and you add money to the mix, it amplifies your character so much. This is what one of my mentors was telling me. He was like, "Bro, you have so much you built up. If you just piled in money right now to your character, you'd be so much more attractive. And it's fucking facts. It's so facts. So you really want to build your life in a way that it makes you as attractive as possible. It's how you're going to have the most success with girls. Going back to how girls are going to break their rules with you. If you're that guy in every single metric, including financially, it just gives you that extra layer of them wanting to break the rules with you. So let's go into why does having money make you more attractive? And before we do, if you guys find my lifestyle attractive, where I travel the world, work 3 hours per day, and posting on YouTube and building a coaching business, I outline everything for you on how I'm doing this on my second channel. And that link is going to be in the description below. You can check that out after watching this. So first thing is, you have the abundance mentality. There's something so attractive about a guy who just has abundance. And on the opposing side, someone who has a scarcity mindset, especially with money, is so unattractive. I see this sometimes with guys who I know or I'm friends with, when they're just like, oh no, bro, I want to save my money. I don't want to go do that trip, or I don't want to go out to this weekend or go to that party because I'm trying to save my money. I just find it so fucking unattractive. So the abundance mentality, there's a dude who I've been hanging out with. He doesn't even make that much, but he has that abundance mentality where he's just like, I'm going to get this for you, and then I'll get the next thing. And then, he gets me at entry and I get him with some drinks, or I buy him some food. And it's just that, it's just like, we're not like bartering like, oh bro, if I get you this, will you get, no, it's just like, here bro, I'm getting some food, you want some? He's like, yeah. And I just buy him food, and we're at entry, he just like, boom, oh, I got you bro. I'm like, my fucking man, it's just that abundance where it's like, the money is going to come back. You have that self-belief in yourself that you'll be able to generate and make more money, and you're not holding on and clinging on to something. It's a very scarcity, unattractive thing to do. So you need to get yourself to the place where you have abundance. And if you're not there yet, I would try and practice abundance as much as you can. Don't try and live in scarcity, because you're setting up bad habits for yourself. And I'm not saying to spend all your money recklessly, but don't be thinking that you're going to save yourself rich, because you're not. Now, the next thing is being on an upward trajectory. So let's just start with the opposite. Imagine being on a downward trajectory. No one wants to be around someone who's just, life is getting worse and worse and worse. Everyone wants to be around someone who's on an upward trajectory, right? So that's very attractive. You want to be the guy who year after year is succeeding, doing better things, putting on more muscle, making more money, buying cooler things, better clothing, right? If you're that guy on an upward trajectory, girls will notice. And this ties into the last point, which is ambition. You want to be someone who is ambitious. Because everything gets leaked out in your mindset and the way that you communicate. So if you're the guy who is happy making $3,000 per month, working your basic job in the factory or whatever, and you're kind of going to say that to girls. You're like, oh, I do this. I'm really happy with what I do. I make $3,000 per month. They're just seeing you as someone who is settling. You're not ambitious. But if you're like me, and I'm making, I don't know, 8, 10K per month on average right now. Like recently I made 8 or 10, something like, I don't really calculate. But something like that. It's not like anything crazy, but it's okay. I mean, for me at least, it's okay. But I'm like, fuck it, I want 50. I want 100. I want 100K a month. I'm going to get there, but that's the mindset. It's like 8 to 10K. It's like, yeah, it's good and I'm proud of myself, but I want more. If you're the guy who's like, I want the fucking Rolex, AP, the Patek Philippe on my wrist, I want the Porsche, the Lambo, the Rari in my drive, I want the penthouse. If you want these things and you can express that ambition in a very, charismatic way, of course. You don't want to brag, you don't want to do anything like that. But if you can express your ambition that you have goals in this life that you want to attain, that makes you very attractive to girls. And these are the reasons kind of why. And on top of that, it's the lifestyle, right? So you're going to be providing a lifestyle that a girl wants to live. She's going to want to be part of a cool lifestyle. No girl wants to live in the fucking basement in a tiny apartment, So it's little things that really add up. But these are the character traits and kind of mindsets behind why you're so attractive to girls. And once again, I outlined everything for you in the High Value Man Guide, showing you every single way that you can build your value as a man and become the guy that girls break their rules for. So once again, that's the first link in the description below. You can grab that now. It's completely for free.